shit, yeah.
Oh, I like your enthusiasm this week, man. That's good. And welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the week's comic-related news, views, and reviews. I'm your host, Troy, and with me, as always, he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Kade.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, pumped.
Pumped. Why are you pumped?
What a fucking week.
It's been a massive week. It actually started off as pretty quiet, and I was a little bit worried. I was kind of like, we're going to have enough to talk about. But then, bam, something happened today. We'll talk about it later.
In the news.
In the news. First, though, look. So this week, it was Listener's Choice, where we gave you, the listeners, the almighty superpower of being able to choose what we discuss this week on the show. We had a pretty good bunch of responses. However, the winner is a young lady by the name of Amy P. from Facebook.
Well done.
Well done. Look, and she has asked us to talk about some of comics' most kick-ass female superheroes. And look, while it's pretty cool that this happens to coincide with International Women's Day, which happened on March the 8th, we at Comic Confidential feel it's important to say that we don't need no damn special day.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. We don't need no damn special day to talk about how awesome female comic book characters are. Look, we would have done it regardless, and we will most definitely do it again. But anyway, massive shout out to Amy. Thanks for your awesome idea, and thank you for listening to our humble little podcast.
And of course, we want to thank everybody who has listened, subscribed, reviewed, scrolled past us on Facebook. You all mean the world to us, and we are available on iTunes, Stitcher, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ComicConPod.
Would you like me to do it?
Oh my God.
Look, everybody, you can follow us at Twitter and Instagram at ComicConPod, Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast. We also have mega exciting news. The official website for Comic Confidential, ComicConPod.com, is up and running. Have a look. It's all shiny. It's probably in mint condition, near mint condition at best. We'll get it appraised.
All very good quality.
At least very good quality. It might
Anyway.
have some like dog ears. I don't know. We'll see.
Just a little bit. Anyway, let's talk news.
Let's talk news, man.
Yeah, you look at YouTube today?
I did. I woke up. We both woke up to, not together, but we both woke up.
You woke up to a text message from me.
I woke up to a text message from you. Basically, oh my God, Spider-Man is in the new Civil War trailer. Naturally, the first thing I did is I jumped on and had a look. And yeah, look, this is the long-awaited new trailer for the Civil War movie that gives us a closer look at some of the intense sort of matchups between them, and of course gives us a little surprise at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, look. What do you want to talk about first? There's so much.
Oh, well, we get a pretty good look at all the teams, who's facing off against who, I guess.
Who and all that sort of stuff. So, you obviously get clear views of, obviously, Iron Man and Captain America, but we get a good look at Winter Soldier versus Black Panther.
Scarlet Witch against Vision.
Exactly. Crossbone versus Cap. You've got Hawkeye and Ant-Man versus Iron Man.
Yeah, that iconic little Ant-Man
cool,
on the arrow.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
So cool. We supposedly see the Winter Soldier take out War Machine.
Nah, that's some clever editing.
You think so?
Yeah,
so what
for
happens?
sure.
Tell me what happens then.
Well, you see that gun that he had? It was
Yeah.
like a little normal gun.
No, you don't know.
Yeah, man, I know.
Okay, you
I
know
was
guns.
I was on the set.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, it's this little gun, and you see the laser beam or the huge cannon shot that gets War Machine?
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens when the movie comes out in May. Black Widow versus some randoms.
Looks like a police troop.
A police troop. It's like a dance troupe, but just like they're dressed in police uniforms for this one in particular. Yeah. Look, it's obviously some sort of strike force or something. Look, and of course the big ensemble matchup where it's basically just everybody versus everybody.
Everyone.
At the end. And then, boom, it happens. The big reveal. The first on-screen look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And look, holy shit. Isn't the internet going nuts? Look, I'll tell you what. We are dead set on the verge of having our own civil war on our hands with how divided people are about how good Spider-Man looks at the end of this thing, right? Look, in typical internet fashion, I'll be nice and I'll say overly passionate people are out there straight, they're just getting straight to suit bashing. They're saying it looks too CGI, it's too animated. One of my personal faves is it looks too much like the Spider-Man from This Post Gave Me Cancer meme. Which is not wrong.
Well, no, but you can tell this suit is based closely to some old school comics.
Yeah.
And I think it looks awesome.
I also think it looks pretty good. And I guess it comes back to, like, this is the whole first look at Apocalypse all over again. I mean, understand that there's a very good chance that the CGI isn't, like, 100% polished. It's like they'll probably bring out, like, a much neater version.
Yeah.
Like, by the time the actual movie comes around, people were demanding a first look. They got a first look. Now they've seen it. They're just like, oh my God.
Oh, fuck this. I'm out of here.
Rage quit. And then they're gone. But, what can you say? They'll definitely tweak it. They'll definitely make it a lot more polished. My opinion is that it's really cool. A lot of people are talking about, like, the moving eyes and things like that, and that shouldn't happen. Or why does he have mechanical eyes? Does it really matter?
You know what? I bet these same people fucking love Deadpool, and that same shit happens.
Yeah, well, that's true. And it would be my opinion that this suit itself, by this stage in the movie, like if we're this far advanced in the movie, as I think we probably will be, it's probably a suit designed by Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to have a lot more technology than, say, the first suit we probably see him in.
Yeah.
Look, it's very Alex Ross-esque in its design. But I guess the most important thing is that it is almost dead set, spot on how you and I basically discussed how this was going to be introduced.
Yeah. The only difference is Troy said Captain America would throw his shield and Spider-Man would catch it.
Yep.
Everything else played out word for word.
Pretty much exactly how it was. I wish we had have actually got it on the podcast, because you're going to go like, you guys are lying.
Yeah.
But I promise you we weren't. We had a conversation about it, and we said this would be the best way for them to intro him. Look, did they go too far, do you think, in showing us the whole thing this early? Would it have been better if they had have kept it like maybe as just the web itself and, just the little noise?
Nah.
You think they needed to do it?
Yeah, I think they needed to do it. And, like, everyone was calling for it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking glad they did it.
Yeah.
You're glad they did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, I'm not saying I'm not. I just think it might have left a little bit more of a build up to it, because now, again, as I said before, like, we have this big apocalypse thing where everybody's kind of going, "Oh my God, this is so crap," but it's actually really not that bad, and everybody just needs to relax a little bit.
Yeah, and they did it for marketing.
Yeah.
It's to get all the Spider-Man fans, new fans, if that's even a thing anymore.
Yeah, but they had to do it at some point. It was
Yeah.
definitely going to happen. The whole trailer in itself actually plays out really well. Very dramatic, very intense.
Yeah.
A couple of voiceovers over the top from both Captain America and Iron Man. Look, you're either Team Cap or you're Team Iron Man. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to personally say I'll probably Team Cap.
Oh, I'm Team Iron Man.
Oh, should we battle?
Civil War.
Ooh, Civil War, Comic Confidential.
I know, it'll be interesting to see who wins. I'll put 5 on a draw.
5 on a draw. Oh, that's interesting. I'll put 5 on me in an epic rap battle.
Oh.
Yeah, later.
Okay.
Civil War rap battle, you and me. There was a little bit of other news. We will talk about that as well.
Yeah, I guess.
If we have to. Look, honestly, we could probably go through and break down this trailer for an entire episode, but we won't. We're going to leave it for you guys to have a look at, and for you guys to, like, really sort of break it down yourselves and get immersed in it and just enjoy it. We're going to talk about a little bit of other news, but we're going to stay within the Spider-Man theme, I guess. J.K. Simmons, who obviously played J. Jonah Jameson from the Daily Bugle in the Spider-Man movies, has now officially been cast in the Justice League as Commissioner Gordon.
Leaves Marvel, pictures of Spider-Man show up.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man. And then they do, and he's gone, and it's too late.
Yeah.
What do you think about this casting?
Yeah, man, I think it'll be good.
Do you think so?
Can rock and mow.
He can rock and mow. I just my concern is that it's too much of a familiar face within the comic book universe. You don't think so?
Captain America.
What? Because he was Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four. That could be said for a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So you shut your damn mouth.
All right, man. You don't have to get personal. Keeping with Spider-Man as well, Zendaya, if I'm saying that right, has been cast in the new Spider-Man reboot as an unnamed character as it stands right now. I don't actually know what a Zendaya is.
No, I've never heard of it / her.
I don't know what they do. It sounds more like an actual character from the comics than an actual person.
Yeah.
But look, apparently she's like a singer and actress and everything from the States. We may not know her. We could be past that age group that actually listens to Zendaya and Justin Bieber and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But look, anyway, the movie is due out in July 2017.
Yes, looking forward to it. Civil War has a runtime of 146 minutes.
Yes, that is very long. And we probably should have spoken about that in relation to the Civil War movie earlier. But it does. It's come out and it's 146 minutes long. That's been confirmed. That makes it officially the longest Marvel movie so far. Batman vs Superman is 151 minutes, so we have got some long ass movies coming out, man.
Getting your money's worth.
You're definitely getting your money's worth, but you're gonna have to stock up on drinks and popcorn because you're gonna be there for like 14 days just trying to watch these movies
Minimum.
But it's gonna be really cool. Look, one last thing I want to talk about before we actually get into the weekly wrap is that Preacher.
Yeah, you've been stoked about this.
Man, I cannot wait for this. Preacher premieres on March the 14th. So look out for that in next week's reviews because like we are most definitely going to review this show. It's going to be awesome. So this is the Dominic Cooper-led AMC Studios adaptation of Garth Ennis's awesome, let me put a little bit more emphasis on that, awesome comic about a newly possessed small-town preacher, his ex-girlfriend, and an Irish vampire on a mission to literally find God. It is going to be massive.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is dead set AMC's next big hit.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
predicting it right now. You heard it on this podcast. Preacher, massive. Maybe not Walking Dead, massive. Maybe not Breaking Dead, massive.
Breaking Dead?
Maybe not Breaking Dead and The Walking Bad, massive.
Yeah.
But definitely number 3.
Write it down.
I will.
And that's going to bring us to the weekly wraps. Starting off the week, as we always do, The Walking Dead.
Yes, so this week, Rick gets the Alexandrians to agree to take on the Saviors. Morgan gives another damn speech about not killing. Carol looks like she's a mum again. And the taking of the Saviors compound does not go to plan. What'd you think about this episode, man?
It's fucking good.
It was good. I'm going to say I fucking love this show, man.
It's getting good, eh?
It is. Look, it has its problems. You know, here and there, it's like, you know, it's up and down, it's up and down. But 6 seasons in, man, it still gives this, like, edge of the seat quality like this. It's unreal.
Yeah, this is a real nail-biter episode, I thought.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, it's another... How do I put it? Awesome? Nah, I keep saying awesome. I keep saying awesome all the time. It's another stellar episode, and it basically all hinges around Rick and the crew's first real assault on the Saviors. But some other stuff happens first, and we'll get there in the end. But yeah, like it's just really good quality, edgy seat stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, this episode, you know, it was structured quite well. It built up to the end in a really good manner, you know, with Carol baking cookies.
Yeah.
At the start of the episode, looking kind of very mumsy.
Yeah, looking looking very mumsy, but also, you know, when she's confronted by a walker, she's also looking very much like she's kind of had enough of this shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
Like she just wants to get back to that old, you know, I just want a normal life. I just want to bake cookies for my people sort of thing.
You know, she's out collecting those acorns. Acorns? Acorns.
Convict. Yeah.
And, you know, she sees that walker and she's... and she's just like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's basically exactly that. She's definitely had enough. However, a little bit of a hot celebrity couple alert. Look, she does get it on a little bit with Tobin. And, you know, I'm going to call it celebrity couple name, Cabin. Carol, Tobin, Cabin.
Oh, no, I got it.
Did you get it? Did they get it? Just need to make sure that everyone understands it's Cabin, and that's going to stay a hashtag Cabin.
That's going to bloody catch on.
If hashtag cabin doesn't catch on, I honestly don't know how to hashtag. So anyway, Rick comes back from Hilltop to announce the plan to everybody that they're going to take on the Saviors, and everybody is in it except for who?
Morgan, that bloody dickhead.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Morgan. Can you just, like, I understand, like, I do get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to kill.
I know you don't want to kill, but at some point, like, after the shit that you just put everybody through by not killing, don't you think at some point it might, you might turn and you might go, oh, you know what, maybe killing bad guys isn't so bad anymore.
Yeah. He drives me fucking crazy.
He drives me crazy too. I actually really liked that character at the start, like when they first reintroduced him to Alexandria. I'm like, oh shit, Morgan's back, son. Like shit's about to get real.
Absolutely.
But it just gets real sad because he basically cries every time somebody kills somebody.
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh no.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. Abraham. Decided to make a bit of a choice with the women this week.
Player.
Look, but let's just say he chose to do it by basically being a massive C-bomb. Not actually going to drop the C-bomb, but he was super C-bombish this week.
Yeah, this actually stays pretty close to the comics because I think the line in the comics is "You're not the only woman around anymore."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they pretty much nail it. But yeah, he basically dumps Rosita like she was last week's garbage. So that probably opens the door for Sashbraham. But we'll see how that plays out in the future, I guess.
Hasha?
Don't be stupid. Oh. You leave this to me, man.
Oh.
You leave the celebrity couple naming to me. Look, Tara tells Denise that she loves her.
And she's full of shit.
She is full of shit. Well, she's not full of shit. Like, she does love her. She's just basically playing on the fact, like, she's trying to play out the fact that she doesn't enjoy what it is that she does. Like, when they go out on these missions and all that sort of stuff. She's trying to really play it down. But she actually does quite get into it. She did say later on in the episode that she does actually love her. My concern is it just me, or is she putting on a lot of weight?
Well, she's pregnant in real life.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew
so
it.
like, you saw the scenes where they're in that kitchen having this exact conversation about I love you, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And you see like they're hiding her body behind big plates.
Like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that type of stuff all the time in TV shows and
yeah,
stuff.
so
it drives me a little bit insane. But I get it. I was just concerned that maybe, like, if they're in a food shortage...
she's in the pantry.
She's just in the pantry. But it's good to know that there is an actual legitimate medical reason as to why she is actually putting on weight. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because these are the things that I break down from the TV shows every week.
Oh,
these are the bits that I see. Look, and anyway, so eventually we get to the part where they've all decided that they're going to attack the Savior's compound, and Rick's big idea is somewhat controversial, I guess.
Is it?
Is it
like in this?
Okay, maybe not in this sort of landscape,
in this world that they're in now.
It's not. But Rick's big idea is to draw the guards out by bringing them the head of Gregory. Now, obviously, they're not going to actually give them the head of Gregory, so they decide to decapitate
a handful of walkers that
kind of resemble what Gregory would possibly
look like. A generic old man.
Yeah, just generic old man look. So they decide to kill and decapitate walkers who basically closely resemble Gregory. Two things happen in this scenario, like while they're doing this. One of the things is that Glenn has a conversation with Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
I apologize. I don't actually know that guy's name. From now on in, though, he will be known as Whoopi Goldberg until I actually learn his name. I promise I will. But he basically... So Glenn has a conversation with Whoopi about never actually having killed a living human being before.
Yeah, and it's quite easy to forget. Like, in this world, Glenn has probably killed hundreds of walkers.
Yeah.
But he's not actually killed a living human.
Yeah, like, I would have put money dead set on the fact that Glenn had killed before. Just not actually going back through and like really sort of like thinking about it. But
I think he's probably killed before. Like if you go back to the time when they were at the prison and the governor was forcing his way in.
yeah, there's a very good chance. Like,
I'm sure
a
he's
straight
killed-
Glen bullet.
Yeah,
hit
exactly.
somebody.
Except I don't think he's killed or murdered someone
Yeah,
in cold blood.
just face to face, like dead set murder. So that happened. So we learned that about Rick and Whoopi Goldberg. He's never done it either, or she's never done. Whoopi Goldberg's never done it. But I guess the best thing that comes out of this is just Rick punches the shit out of a severed zombie head.
Yeah. This guy does not give a fuck at the
He
moment.
doesn't. This is dead set. It's pure. I don't give a fuck. I'll punch a severed zombie head Rick. To give a little bit of backstory, I guess they needed to make it look a little bit more realistic. So when they actually find a zombie head that looks closely resembles Gregory, they need to make it look a little bit realistic. I can ask you a science question.
Oh, yes.
Can you actually give a severed zombie head a black eye?
According to Dr. Dickhead, you can.
I don't know where that doctor got his medical degree, but I don't think that can actually happen. Anyway, look, he's doing it for a reason, but it's prompting me to start a new hashtag for the week.
Mate, you're bloody banned from doing hashtags.
No, this is like
You're throwing 20 out an episode.
We've got hashtag cabin, but we've also got just hashtag punching severed heads.
No one's going to have that many characters left.
Look, you just put it out there. Just put it out there. On a side note, though, I did read this. One of the severed heads was actually Johnny Depp.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it was the director used his own head, not his own actual head.
I
but
figured.
yeah, but the mold of his head for one of the things, because he actually closely resembles the actor who plays Gregory. But also Johnny Depp. They used his head as a likeness for one of the zombies.
I did hear rumors that he was walking around on set, so this is obviously what he was doing.
Yeah. So that's why.
Cool.
So just basically lending his head to be wailed upon by Rick. Whether it was that head or not, I don't know. So I guess upon arriving at the compound, they finally get to the compound when they're about to start attacking, or start their plan to attack.
The massacre.
The massacre, as it will turn out to be. It's important to note that Carol, Maggie, Jesus, Tara, the priest guy. What's the priest guy's name?
Lepre.
So priest guy, whose name we'll learn for the next episode, promise. They're basically out in various positions guarding the perimeter, while Rick and the rest of the crew actually infiltrate the compound.
Priest guy had a fantastic kill scene in this episode.
He did.
That's
Priest
badass.
guy actually killed somebody.
Tarantino would be proud of that.
He would. Look, he finally grew some balls. And just manned up. Because he's had some problems, hasn't he?
Oh, he's had some huge problems
In the
Big
show.
Pussy ass bitch.
But I think he's on his way. He's on his way to becoming a character that we may all grow to love. Probably not. Anyway, so going well off track. So they try the old head trick, and it apparently works. Side note: is one of the guards Rick Ross, like dead
Has
set?
to be.
So one of the guards that comes out closely resembles Rick Ross, but we'll move on from that fairly quickly. Look, but it actually works. It works. They're able to kill both guards and infiltrate the compound. And what it's all based on is the fact that they're attacking at night, and everybody is probably going to be asleep while they do this. So while they can draw the guards out, that's fine. Once they actually breach the compound, everybody will be asleep, and it's just as easy as killing people in their sleep. But it doesn't actually seem like everybody is really sort of keen on killing people like just while they sleep.
Yeah, once they get in there, they kind of realize the inhumane thing that they're actually doing. Everyone has a little bit of trouble of doing what they need to.
They do, and most importantly to me is Rick. Like the first guy that Rick kills when he actually walks into the bedroom and there's a guy sleeping and he has to like just knife him in the head. He actually looks like he has a look of kind of almost self-disgust on his face.
Yeah.
Like he can't believe he actually did it.
Glenn saves Whoopi from having to kill some guys.
Yeah, look, so Glenn and Whoopi Goldberg get themselves in the same predicament. And, you know, very hesitantly, Glenn does it as well. But he stops Whoopi, and I do apologize, but he stops Whoopi from doing the same thing. He spares him from having to do it, and he does it himself. Two things that really like stand out from this scene is, one, you know, we get to see a whole bunch of Polaroids on the wall.
Yes.
Of people who have effectively had their
heads bashed in.
Their skulls caved in.
Yeah.
Which is more than likely the work of Negan and his pet baseball bat, which has a name. It's named Lucille. We'll see that later on, probably. Yeah. Hopefully they actually like stick with the name and all that sort of stuff, but like really stick close to the character. My concern is why this random dude just has these pictures like, you know, just above his bed.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It's really weird. Like,
well, that just shows you the sickos these people really are.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's painting a picture of what's to come. You know, you're dealing with these people who are on a new level.
Yeah. Well, do you think, again, that Glenn seeing this firsthand, is it a foreshadowing then of his death, or are you still convinced that it's going to be Maggie?
It's going to be Maggie. And we'll get to that in any minute.
Any minute. Okay. Look, basically, everything goes like according to plan. They breach the compound. They kill just about everybody in sight.
Glenn and Whoopi get the lucky throw of the dice. One of the rooms they run into is their armory by the looks of it.
Yeah, it happens to be the armory. So
they end up killing about 20 people each. So
yeah, so all that sadness about should we not, and Glenn saving Whoopi from killing really is null and void because they kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
Although blindly shooting them through a door, but they still kill a lot of people anyway. So we finally get to the point where, you know, everybody's outside and Rick and the crew are all sort of high-fiving and congratulating each other on what seemed like a very smooth-running mission. That actually, like, nobody died.
Yeah, it went a little bit too easy, if you ask me.
A little bit too easy, and then there's a little bit of a twist.
A little bit of a twist.
A little bit of a twist. M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, so they killed this guy who's trying to run away on a motorbike who is raving it like a fucking idiot.
Well, I don't know how to ride motorbikes.
No, neither do I. But if that was me, I wouldn't ride the motorbike. Maybe I'll just sneak off in the grass.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, side note. Carol and Maggie get taken hostage.
Yeah, so they basically find a walkie-talkie that this guy had, and this lady on the other end is telling them to, you know, drop their weapons and all that sort of stuff. We have Carol and Maggie. If you want to get them back, stop what you're doing. Just basically surrender. So what looked like it actually went really, really well actually turned out to probably be, you know, it's
one of the worst things they could have done.
Yeah, and look, for me, like I know you're thinking that it's going to be Maggie. I'm now throwing my hat into the ring for it to be Carol.
I can see this. You know, there was a lot of story about Carol this episode.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, you know, she's got this love interest. She's trying to, well, she's, as you said, you know, she's sick of this whole world already. So...
And let's not forget, in the comic books, she died a long time ago.
Yeah, she died ages
ago.
So yeah, no, I can see your point.
Anyway.
$5, I'm right.
Okay. $5, I'm right.
You're going to go broke, mate.
Whatever. So, that's The Walking Dead for this week.
Yeah, what'd you give it?
I gave it 4 severed Gregory heads out of 5.
I agree. The same. You know, lots of tension, sweaty hands this whole episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's good.
Hashtag punching severed heads, everyone.
Don't do that.
So that would move us on to Supergirl, which actually is on break. And that's pretty annoying because we dead set just caught up on this show. And now it's gone on break for a week. Damn you, CW.
I don't know if CW actually do this one.
Who do the show?
Isn't it Warner Brothers?
Nah.
I'm pretty sure. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
We're
Whoever
on
does
break.
this show.
It comes
CW
back.
Warner.
Yeah, it comes back March 14th in the US, 15th here in Australia.
Comes back with episode 16, Falling, which will see Supergirl become basically a major bitch.
Yeah, if you have watched Smallville, you'll have a pretty good idea of what red kryptonite will do to a Kryptonian.
Yeah, so she gets exposed to red kryptonite and just goes on a little bit of a rampage. So for those of you, I guess, who don't know, a little bit of geology here. A little bit of geology. There are actually multiple colors of kryptonite which do varying things to Kryptonians depending on the source material. Green obviously weakens them.
Yeah, red removes their inhibitions.
Yep, you can get gold or purple, which can completely remove their powers. Side note, pretty sure that's how Clark and Lana did it on Smallville.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Scandalous.
Oh, my.
And black can split them into good and evil versions of themselves. So basically, do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
There may be a test later. I hope you're taking notes.
Yep. Flash, it's on break still.
So Flash is also on break as well, as we mentioned last week. However, I want to mention some pretty exciting news in the fact that Kevin Smith just recently tweeted that he has finished filming his first scene on The Flash.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome episode.
I think so. I think it will be. If I have faith in my boy Kevin Smith, this will be an awesome episode. Look, you either like this guy or you don't, but we here, like Kade and myself at Comic Confidential, love the guy. Big shout out to my homie Kevin Smith. But we're very excited for this episode to drop. Look, there's a very good chance that it could just end up being Barry and the whole gang sprouting wordy monologues at each other in the coffee shop jitters while Jay and Silent Bob try to sell weed out the front.
That would be awesome.
It actually sounds like a really good episode.
Yeah, it does.
It's like...
Is there any details released on what this one might be?
There is actually not so far.
Oh.
They did a table read and everything. They've basically... It's almost wrapped. But there is nothing further than that so far.
Have you ever heard Kevin Smith talk about The Flash?
Yes.
Fucking loves it.
Loves it. Super passionate.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to what he does with this.
Me too, man. I think it's going to be great. Look, Arrow, again, also on break. What are we even talking about this week? But it's going to return the day after The Flash airs, later in March. And while there's not much, I guess, in the way of news to report, we do now know that season 4 will officially wrap up in May, on May the 25th, giving us about 8 episodes to see how this whole Damien Dark Hive thing plays out.
Oh, can't wait.
Come on, man.
No, nah.
Come on, man. Look, we're building to something. We're going to build to something. I know we are. Who's going to live? Who's going to be dead at the cemetery? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just take him to a Lazarus pit?
Because the Lazarus pits are gone.
Oh, stop it. Look, we'll find out soon enough. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Okay, talking about good shows, Gotham.
Again, one of these shows that gets a lot of crap.
Yeah, it gets so much shit.
And I really think it's from people who haven't actually given it much of a chance past the first season. Because this second half of the second season is actually really good. And in this one, basically Freeze gets his origin story. Penguin, might be losing his shit completely. And Hugo Strange gets stranger? More strange?
Hey.
He gets weird.
Yeah, he does.
Basically, shit gets weird.
Yeah.
Shit gets weird on Gotham this week. But look, it was another solid episode, man. I've got to say, I love the opening scene at Ace Chemicals. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But it was very cool. Like, it was very well done for a TV show. The whole thing, the set pieces and the effects and all that, it was very well done.
This is unbelievable what they're producing for a TV show.
Yeah.
This whole Art Deco theme must be really cheap to make.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's very film noir. I guess look at us throwing out these terms that we actually know nothing about. This is what the internet's for, kids.
Yeah.
You can just look up things.
Googleize it.
You can just Googleize things. Look, little Bruce Wayne's back.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. I know you don't necessarily like this kid, but honestly, he's starting to get a lot more intense and brooding. as much as a 14-year-old kid can.
Is he hitting puberty or something?
He might be.
Yeah.
He might be. But look, at this point in the show, he's really starting to come along as a character, and we're really starting to see glimpses of the Bruce Wayne / future Batman that we want to see.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
What kind of fucking 14-year-old talks like he does? Batman?
Batman.
Yeah, I guess.
You just answered your own question. Look, at one point when he's talking to Leslie Tompkins, who is the love interest of Jim Gordon.
Side note, real life partners.
Correct. And real life pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they just welcomed their first child to the world.
Do you reckon she'll become Batgirl?
No, because this is real life. Sorry to disappoint you, but congratulations to both of them. That's amazing news. But anyway, back to what I was actually saying. Look, there's a part where he kind of he says to Leslie Tompkins that he is always honest, but then not too far from that, he actually tells her a lie, and she catches him out on it, and he's like, "Oh, that must have been the other Bruce." It's like, a little bit of this
bitch.
Bruce and a this Bruce. What's that mean? So, it's a little foreshadowing of Batman, which is good. Freezer's also back. And this, in my opinion, this would have to be one of their best villains yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the way they've built his backstory here.
Yeah.
I really hope they just don't off him out of the show.
Yeah. I think he has a potential of he'll come back. He'll come back into to later episodes and all that sort of stuff. He can't. They've done too much with it to not do that. It'd be a waste of a really good character. And speaking of good characters, Penguin, man, I really like this character. He has obviously, he's in Arkham Asylum. He's getting treatment at the hands of Hugo Strange. Look, I really don't know what their plans are with this character, but I really like him, so I hope it goes somewhere good.
Yeah, he's you can tell he's starting to crack under all these treatments.
Yeah,
he's losing his mind.
He is.
Yeah.
So let's see where they take that. Hopefully, it's somewhere really good. Look, the guy killed Jada Pinkett Smith, right?
Oh,
you gotta love him for that.
Fucking my hero.
Right? Whatever, Jada Pinkett Smith. She don't care. She don't worry about us. I guess super hardcore MMA fighter Bruce Wayne strikes up a deal with Alfred in regards to they've finally found his parents' killer, or so they think.
Spoiler: it's not.
Spoiler: it's not. It's never going to be. It won't be for a long time. You'll probably never find out who the guy is.
Yeah, and it frustrates me that they're taking this path still.
Yeah. Do you think they should just give it up and maybe move somewhere different?
I think so. I can see why they're doing it. They need to. This is the only way they have to drive this character at the moment.
Yeah.
There is nothing else that will take him forward.
Yeah, I suppose.
So until he gets a threat that a 14-year-old can conquer, this is it.
Yeah, I suppose. Look, basically, Bruce Wayne and Alfred strike up a deal that, who is going to get to kill the guy who killed Bruce's parents. And they decide that it's going to be Alfred. He's basically pulling rank. I'm the older dude. I'm going to kill this guy. He's got a file. He got an old buddy in the police force to find out who the guy is. And as far as they're concerned, it's a guy named Patrick Matches Malone. We will see him, no doubt, in later episodes. But a little fun fact is that in the comic books, Matches Malone is just a really a small-time crook, not necessarily an overly super bad guy or anything like that, but he's actually the pseudonym that Bruce Wayne takes on when he wants to try to infiltrate the criminal underground.
Oh, that's clever.
He calls himself Matches Malone.
Yeah.
So that's cool. This is why I like this show.
Yeah.
Because while, like we spoke about last week, you're never going to get to see the characters the way you want to, they still have all these throwbacks to, to the comics and all that sort of stuff. So it's really good. Anyway, so look, we're crapping on about a lot of stuff, but ultimately Mr. Freeze goes on a rampage through Arkham to get his woman back.
In his best Buzz Lightyear outfit.
Yeah, is it a Buzz Lightyear outfit?
It has to be.
It's something close. It looks to me like kind of like a really extreme paintball outfit with a space helmet.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I was waiting for his wings to pop out.
Look, I can only hope that his actual costume gets better. But, Hugo Strange strikes a deal with him to get some cryogenic formula. There's a showdown with Jim Gordon and Dr. Lee Tompkins with his wife. Look, say what you will about the show. We'll wrap it up because we've been talking about it for a while. But say what you will about the show. You guys have got to give it a chance. Get out there and actually watch it and see what they're doing with these characters. They're giving them a whole unique sort of, origin story. The origin story is different to it is in the comics with Mr. Freeze in particular, and it will be for all of them, but they're actually doing a really good job. I really think you guys need to go out there and watch this show. Give it a chance. I'm going to give it 3.5 batarangs.
Oh, I'm going to give it 4.5. I really enjoyed the episode.
4.5 batarangs. Yeah. That's a lot of batarangs, man. How many batarangs you got left in your arsenal when you throw 4.5 out there like that?
Half.
Fair call. Look, one thing I did want to mention before we move on is that at the end of this episode, we do see like a couple of human test tube type of things.
Yeah, in Indian Hill there.
Because we do go back to Indian Hill where we see Mr. Freeze, who is now affected completely by the cold and all that sort of stuff. We see Theo Galavan is in there.
Yeah.
At some point, unfortunately, we have seen a fish Mooney. They did show that in the show.
Oh, I missed that.
It was there. So there's a very good chance that Fish Mooney may come back. And let's be honest, Jada Pinkett Smith was too big an actress to just die off like she did. She was always going to come back.
Too big for the Oscars, mate.
Well, Jerome was there as well. So, who else you got in there? Who else? God knows.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll find out.
So let's talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, ripping the team. They travel to 1958. Sarah gets herself a little girlfriend. Kronos shows up again out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, this guy.
Yeah.
Just rocks up and just starts causing trouble.
I'm getting sick of this dude.
Me too. Look, this week, the Legends, as I will call them, travel back to what can only be described as fucking super racist 1950s America.
It's America.
America. It is super racist back then. Look, they have 2 black people and a lesbian on their team. And you
maybe leave them on the ship?
Maybe leave them on the ship. You leave people on the ship every week.
Yeah.
You're in 1950s America and you choose to bring these people out into the world. It didn't turn out as bad as it could have, but I think in real life
it would have went a lot.
It would have went a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, a comet with nth metal shows up out of nowhere and starts turning the locals into these crazy bird people.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of important to point out that nth metal is very much connected to this whole thing with Vandal Savage and Kendra and whatever his name is.
Hawkman.
Steve. In the sense that nth metal is what they make their armor out of.
Yeah.
It's all, the meteor is very similar to what gave Vandal Savage his powers of immortality and all that sort of stuff. As far as this episode goes as a whole, though, it doesn't really move the story forward much at all.
No, the only thing exciting that really comes out of this episode is the fact that Hawkgirl, Adam, and White Canary get left behind.
Yeah. So, look, to not pass over an entire episode, it was well done in the sense that it was really like it was a throwback to old school horror movies, very much very, very cheesy sort of
dialogue.
Yeah, like the whole sort of thing. It was very much making us aware that time back then was completely different, while also playing on the whole like I said, throwing back to horror movies and all that sort of stuff of that time. Ultimately, it didn't really move the story forward much at all. But as you sort of like alluded to, there are a couple of the guys that get left behind because Kronos just comes out of nowhere, starts blasting at the ship, forces them to take off without Adam, Hawkgirl, and White Canary. What's going to happen next week? Who knows?
Tune in.
Yeah, tune in. Look, the show, that's 2 episodes in a row now, and it's kind of disappointing that they haven't really brought the story forward at all.
From from all reports, the first couple of episodes really blew the budget.
Yeah.
So they're doing a couple of these bottle episodes because if you ever think about it, most of this episode was based in that hospital.
Yeah.
And on the ship.
Yeah, and again, it was more about Vandal Savage creating these crazy bird people with this comet than it was about them actually trying to really stop Vandal Savage. And it's almost even weird that Vandal Savage just happens to pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, just like he's lurking in the forest.
Yeah, of all the places they could go, they were told to go to that time, sure. That's more than likely where he will be. But to just rock up sort of in the same sort of area, same neighborhood, it's very convenient. Didn't really do much for me this week, unfortunately.
No, me either. And, the fact that Gideon could undo the damage that this media did to people made the episode kind of pointless.
Yeah, it's kind of like, is it their Lazarus pit? Like in the sense that is Gideon their Lazarus pit, in the sense that it doesn't really matter what's going to happen to you in the show. There's a very good chance that Gideon will probably save you.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it's just they cut back on the writers this week. It just felt a pretty poor episode. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Ooh, I'll give it a 2. I don't.
That's
really...
being too generous.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'll give it a 2. I'm not even 2 what? 2 points. That's how disappointed I am.
Two wristwatches.
Not even going to make anything up for it. Just going to give it 2 points. I really hope next week, while it was a fun episode and all that, sure, it was fun, and there was some good dialogue between the characters and all that sort of stuff, and it was a fun throwback and all that. It really did nothing to bring the show forward, and they really need to start doing that to be able to keep viewers, I guess.
Yeah, and I think this only runs for 8 or 16 episodes in between there. It's not a full season, so they need to get their shit together.
Exactly. It's going to go on a break, but hopefully when it comes back with some actual story.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right, so that brings us to the last show of the week, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did you watch it?
No.
Oh.
Did you watch it?
Nope.
Oh, this is awkward. We will totally catch up.
I have no doubt it was a freak of the week. They tried to join the team, or they're against the team.
Yeah, look, it's not that we're not a fan of the show. I guess it's very similar to Agent Carter with us. We haven't really ever gotten into it, nor, can I be honest, will we probably ever. We've copped a little bit of flack about this being a very DC-heavy sort of TV segment, but that is only because DC right now are bringing out the better quality shows.
Yeah, absolutely. They're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. However, wait for the Netflix Marvel series to come back.
Yeah.
So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, when they bring out Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all that sort of stuff.
We're going to be all up in that
all over
shit.
it, because that stuff is absolute 100% quality. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me is just a run-of-the-mill,
freak of the week.
Freak of the week,
Rubbish.
like you said. Yeah, look. I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights and the old red, white, and blue. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman.
All right, man. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
Was that funky enough for you?
It's something else. It starts with F.
All right, look, so obviously Kay didn't like it, but I love it. That was the theme song to the absolutely wonderful, wonderful Woman TV show from the 70s starring Linda Carter. And as we said earlier in the show, we are here to discuss and celebrate some of comics' greatest female heroes. We'll probably throw in a couple of villains as well. Look, so we've handpicked 5, and that's who we'll talk about. But, a little bit of a disclaimer.
It's a top. It's not a top 5. It's 5 that we like.
Yeah.
So don't get on your high horse and tell us that there's better fucking heroes out there.
Look,
this is what we want to talk about.
Yeah, look, we handpicked these 5. We know that there are others out there that are possibly cooler, just as cool. Look, it doesn't matter. I mean, we know that there are so many. We've got a limited time. We're talking about 5. And that's going to start us off with, thanks to the theme song, Wonder Woman. Now, where do you even start, man?
The beginning, I would say.
The beginning? Right
Yeah.
back at the beginning? Look,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman first appeared back in 1941, man. So she's been around for a long, long time. She's gone through like multiple changes of her origin. She was a clay statue that was brought to
Yep.
life. Otherwise, she's just a demigod. There are many, many things, many changes in her origin, many changes in her, her abilities, many changes in her costumes. For the love of God, like when you're talking about 65 years of history, it's a lot to talk about. What we're going to talk about, I guess, is we're going to try to keep it to the more recent adaptions or the most well known, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Something you can get your head around quite easily without having to go through all the different versions of Wonder
65
Woman.
years worth of comics,
Yeah.
man. Who's going to do that? No one can possibly do that. But look, let's tell you a little bit about why Wonder Woman is so badass. First off, she's a demigod.
Damn.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that's enough. And because of that, it gives her super strength, speed, ability, reflexes, durability. Look, she's kick-ass strong. But on top of that, she's also an Amazonian-trained master at hand-to-hand combat, which, probably puts her right up there as, one of the best hand-to-hand fighters in the DC universe, I'd say.
Yeah, well, it's been, regularly said that she is the best fighter in the DC universe, even better than Batman.
Nah, man.
Nah, man, she is.
I refuse to believe that. But look, if anyone's better than Batman, sure, I'll let it be Wonder Woman. That's okay. On top of that, she carries some cool ass weapons. She's got the lasso. She's got the lasso of truth. The lasso of truth, which basically, compels any person that it binds to obey and tell the truth. She's got indestructible bracelets. When I dress up as Wonder Woman, I prefer to call them gauntlets. It's a lot cooler. They can deflect bullets. She can fly.
Which is cool as.
That's cool as. Can you fly?
No.
Yeah.
I can barely jump.
Look, so she can fly, so that's cool. This lady, let me tell you, she has battled and fought ancient creatures like the Gorgon, gods like Hades and Ares. She's had one-on-one battles with just about every single bad guy you can imagine, and she has single-handedly taken down every member of the Justice League at least once.
They got on her bad side.
They did. Look, and it was actually in an attempt to save their lives, she had to take them out. Graphic novel. It's pretty great. Look, I guess her most notable battle, however, would have to be when she goes and stands toe-to-toe with a brainwashed, enraged Superman, who, by the way, thinks she's Doomsday and just killed Lois Lane, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Look, she manages to hold him off long enough to escape and regather herself, but that's after she takes a blast of heat vision. She battles him near the sun and gets punched back to Earth. She gets her wrist broken and almost gets hit with a blast of freeze breath, but she holds her own for the longest time. And let me put this in perspective. This is not a Superman that is holding back.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a guy that dead set wants her dead. He is like about as enraged as he can. And if that doesn't show you how friggin' awesome and powerful this character is, like, think about it. Batman needed a suit and kryptonite. And, while I know he's just a man and not a demigod, Wonder Woman took some of his best shots and just kept on coming. You can read about that in Wonder Woman number 219. Look, so far on screen, only the animated movies have really been able to do this character any justice. She's one of the greatest out there. She's one of my personal favorites, man. But look for Gal Gadot in Batman vs. Superman, because apparently she whoops ass in that movie, and Wonder Woman's obviously going to get its own standalone movie.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Which is going to be cool as shit. I guess number 2?
Number
Are
2?
we doing that?
Yeah.
Are we doing that this week?
I don't know, maybe. We'll see how we go.
All right.
The next one on the list is Gamora. She is the green-skinned former assassin and adopted daughter of Thanos.
Does everyone know who Thanos is? Because if you don't know who Thanos is, to be, his daughter, adoptive daughter, but raised by him,
It's kind of a big deal.
it's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
That dude don't mess around.
So yeah, she was raised and trained by Thanos, who basically found her near death.
Yeah, so look, so they went on a mission, and she kind of disobeyed his orders, and went off, and she ended up being attacked by a mass group of thugs. She got left like sort of near death, and Thanos found her.
Yeah, and used some cybernetics to revive her, basically.
Yeah. So basically, you, with the help of cybernetics, revived her, And that led to her gaining, enhanced speed, strength, agility, durability.
Yeah, almost to the levels of Adam Warlock.
Yes.
And if you don't know who he is, he's a badass player in the Guardians universe.
Yeah, look him up. He's cool as fuck. And look, no doubt we'll talk about him at some point. But just to be likened to him is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
She's also one of the most skilled martial artists in the Marvel universe.
Think about that for a second. Like, to put her, that's putting her up there on a level with some insane martial arts killers. You got Stick.
Yeah.
You got Shang-Chi.
You got the Mantis.
Yeah, Mantis, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Easily can hold her own, I think, as far as the universe itself goes, on any top 5 list of martial artists in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, easy. And because of this, she's able to defeat opponents who are much stronger, who might have far more superhuman abilities than her.
Yeah.
Just because, she's a better fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very similar, I guess. Very similar to Wonder Woman in that respect. And not only that, I mean, what also makes her cool as shit is that she's highly proficient with most weapons. She does have a preference for knives and swords, obviously.
Yeah, she's held the time gem before.
Which is cool.
Yeah, not if... your Marvel comics, not many people can actually hold these little bitches.
Exactly. But she held one. She held the time gem. Didn't really do too much with it, but she was still in possession of it, which is pretty much a great thing. Look, she's obviously a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. She's also been a member of the Infinity Watch.
She stood toe-to-toe with Drax the Destroyer, Nebula, faced Ronan the Accuser, and she's helped the Avengers battle Thanos, and has pretty much taken out an entire military platoon on her own.
Yeah, look, and in a matter of minutes. Like, not even like, it wasn't a long, dragged-out battle. She did it in a matter of minutes. Look, she truly belongs on anyone's list of kick-ass female superheroes, let me tell you. You don't believe me?
Oh, man, I believe you. I picked her.
Look, but if you don't believe us, look, just pick up any comic book she's in. Better yet, check out Zoe Saldana's take on the character in Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2 comes out next year, I believe.
I think so.
And she'll be back in that in 2017. Better yet again, you could just challenge her to a street fight and see who wins.
Yeah, try that, you punk bitch.
Look, another green-skinned absolute badass is Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. The She-Hulk.
The She-Hulk.
The She-Hulk. How did she become the She-Hulk,
Well,
you ask?
She got a blood transfusion from Bruce Banner.
She did. I think she was shot, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure she was shot, and she was bleeding out. It was a blood transfusion from Bruce Banner, who's her cousin, who happened to be visiting her at the time. But thanks to that, because of his gamma-infused blood, she basically transformed into the She-Hulk. Now, why is that cool? I hear you asking. Look, she's a fucking Hulk, for starters.
You can't go wrong when you're part of this Hulk family.
Yeah, exactly. But like, while not at the same power level necessarily as her cousin, when she's fully hulked out, she still stands over 6'7". She weighs over 300 kilos. She's super friggin' strong, like super friggin' strong, man. What makes her even more kick-ass, though, is the fact that, unlike Bruce Banner's Hulk, she basically maintains her intelligence and her personality while she's transformed into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, she doesn't... It's not just all blind rage and all that sort of stuff.
It's a calculated beast.
Yeah, and she's highly intelligent as well normally, so that definitely helps. But, I'm not even close to done yet. Her strength grows as her emotions do, similar to the Hulk, right? But she's also stronger as the She-Hulk the more she works out as Jennifer Walters.
So the more she, say, goes to the gym and pumps some iron, that translates to her getting stronger as She-Hulk.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's proportionate to her own physical normal strength.
Yeah, right.
As Jennifer Walters. So, while Bruce Banner's nerding it out in the lab, she's just friggin' alpha dogging it in the gym, man, to get
Pumping
more jacked and tanned. She's as strong as Thor, Hercules, and the Thing. She's ragdoll a clone of Thanos, who we spoke about before. She stood toe-to-toe with the Abomination. Look, albeit using her wit and fighting skills rather than her brute strength to defeat him in battle.
But that's no small task.
Yeah, like the Hulk struggles with the Abomination.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that she's a highly skilled fighter as well, similar to like most of the women that
Yeah.
we'll talk about. But the fact that she's a highly skilled fighter means that like what's the saying, like brain beats brawn? Nah, it's not what I'm looking for, but you know what I'm
It's
talking
along
about.
those
Yeah,
lines.
look, she's immune to drugs and toxins. That means she's not on steroids. She has a limited but still powerful healing factor and ridiculously durable skin. Right?
Yep. She's been an Avenger.
Yes.
Temporarily replaced the Thing in the Fantastic Four.
Yes, she's been a defender. She's been a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. And cooler than all that, she's also been known to break the fourth wall, similar to Deadpool does, like that self-awareness that she's actually,
In a comic book.
as part of a comic. Everybody loves Deadpool, so why not love you some She-Hulk? Look, unfortunately, she hasn't been able to transition to the big screen, but we're hoping someone will get their shit together and give us the She-Hulk movie we deserve. Just not Ang Lee from that Eric Bana Hulk. We don't need that. Look, until then, recommended She-Hulk reading would have to be Dan Slott's take on the character, starting with She-Hulk #1. Check it out.
All right. So the next one we're going to talk about has to be a cult icon.
Yes.
And you can't have a list without including Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, a.k.a. Dr. Harleen Quinzel, formerly of Arkham Asylum, where she worked as a psychiatrist before sort of becoming overly fascinated with a certain inmate. Pretty sure you guys can figure out who that is by now.
The Joker.
Oh, who said that?
I don't know.
Oh. Anyway, spoiler alert, it's the Joker. Look, the rest is history. What we have now is one of the most popular female comic villains around. She's so easily recognizable, man. She's a cosplayer's dream.
Definitely.
Definitely. You won't go to a Comic-Con without seeing yourself 15 Harley Quinns at least. Hell, even Kevin Smith named his daughter directly after this character. In fact, as huge as she is, it's worthy to note that she didn't even start out as a comic book character.
No, she started off in the Batman series from the 90s.
Yeah, exactly, the Batman animated series. And she eventually, but before we go into that, it was actually just supposed to be effectively like a walk-on role. Just a single sort of,
Freak of the Week type of thing.
kind of thing, yeah. That's our saying of the week, Freak of the Week. But yeah, exactly, something like that. But her popularity grew so much that they eventually wrote her into the Batman comics. So, look, we've gathered she's a pop culture icon, but not only is she fun and cutesy in a, I'm kind of like a hot potential schizophrenic psychopath kind of way, she's also a total badass.
Yeah, she's a member of the Justice League of Anarchy.
Yep.
And most importantly, she's part of the Suicide Squad.
Yep. And not only that, she's the sidekick of the Joker and one of the only people to actually gain his affection. One of the, probably very, 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 very few people, including Mrs. Joker, Joker's mum. She's also a part of the Gotham City Sirens with Poison Ivy and Catwoman. And look, while she might not necessarily have any powers to speak of, she's a very skilled fighter and weapons expert.
Yep.
Yep. She has a high level of intelligence, albeit she's, basically batshit crazy, but she's smart.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well, she was a psychiatrist.
Yeah. Can you be both? You can be both.
I think
She
so.
is both. She's a skilled gymnast, acrobat, and also has an immunity to most toxins, thanks in part to her friend Poison Ivy, who saved her once, and, that happened.
Really?
Yeah, so that's an ability that she has. Look, she's fought against Batman, gone toe-to-toe with Batgirl. She's battled the Justice League and many, many others, but her popularity alone is enough, for her to get a mention in this list,
definitely.
man. If we mentioned a villain, of course we're going to talk about Harley Quinn, right?
Yeah.
Look for Margot Robbie's version. And our first big screen look, which I'm personally very excited about this movie in general. Harley Quinn will be in Suicide Squad later in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can't wait that long, check out the Batman Harley Quinn graphic novel.
So that basically covers multiple psychopathic acrobatic adventures, all rolled into one kind of, it's kind of like an omnibus, but it's not. It is sort of, whatever.
Yeah, check it out. It's good.
Now, lastly on the list, we have no doubt that this will be a little bit of a controversial, curveball, a little bit controversial, a little bit out of left field. But we are going to talk about Granny Goodness.
Yes. Okay, now, this old girl is one badass motherfucker.
She is, man. Don't be fooled by the name Granny Goodness. She is a stone cold bitch. I don't know. Spitch.
Bitch.
Do you want to go? I'll talk.
You want to talk about
No,
it?
you talk about it.
Okay.
You like her.
Yeah, no, she's cool.
You convinced me to
this
put
is
her
my
in here.
This is my pick.
Yeah.
Now, Granny Goodness is a new god.
What's a new god?
Basically, that's someone who is born on either planet Apocalypse
Yep.
or New Genesis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she is a high-level member of Darkseid's elite. And for those who don't know, Darkseid is probably the baddest mofo in the DC universe.
Correct. Darkseid will probably make a massive appearance in, the DC movies and stuff like that. He is probably set to be the massive villain in the Justice League movies, you would assume.
You would think so.
But that's just putting it into perspective, like how big this guy is.
Yeah.
And she trains like most of his army.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, which is mental. But albeit like she does it through brainwashing and torture. But I guess she's best known as the leader and trainer of his female Furies, which are like a group of elite women warriors that serve the will of Darkseid. Right?
Yeah, that's it. And not only that, Granny Goodness can stand on her own. She has superhuman reflexes, strength, and endurance.
Yeah.
And a little fun fact: she's
Yeah.
technically immortal.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
And look, she's quite durable for an older woman as far as older, immortal, apocalyptian women go. She's quite good at hand-to-hand combat as well. Plus, she has the advantage of having all of Darkseid's an apocalyptian technology and weaponry at hand to use whenever she sees fit.
Yeah, that's it. And, even though she doesn't pop up a lot, she's actually quite hard to find in any animated series or even comics.
Yeah. She'd make an appearance in Smallville.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, she did.
She did. Briefly.
Yes, very briefly. And actually, most of the time she's shown in a animated series, she really looks like a man.
Yeah.
So it can be quite hard for non-fans to realize who this person is.
Yeah. Yeah. She looks like your crazy old granddad, but she's actually Granny Goodness.
Yeah, she's just jacked out of her mind.
Look, so she hasn't popped up in the DC movie universe anywhere yet. Look, as weird a character as she is, we are both seriously hoping that she does pop up somewhere along the lines in the Justice League series, if we are going to go with Darkseid as the main antagonist. Look, until she does, you can catch her frequently popping up in Jack Kirby's comic series The Fourth World, or basically anything featuring Darkseid, really.
Yeah. Have a read of her. She's pretty sick and twisted and will make you rethink your female characters.
Yeah, trust me. As weird as she sounds, she's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, kids, we'll leave you with that little bit of goodness.
Hey, this guy.
Yeah. So, some, and again, internet people, I say some of the most kick-ass women out there in comics land.
Exactly. Look, but let me finish with this, okay? I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. It's not so much of a rant, but, I want to say that, look, I'm personally grateful that movie and TV studios have finally started to realize, like, the value of some of these, like, kick-ass female characters. Look, shows like Jessica Jones and upcoming movies like Wonder Woman and Miss Marvel, look, hopefully they showcase the fact that, they shouldn't really be treated like just as side characters anymore. They shouldn't just be treated as someone's love interest anymore.
Looking at you, Black Widow.
Exactly. But look, they can actually, like, these guys can actually stand apart and lead their own franchise to greatness. Just as they've done in comics for years and years and years now. Look, sisters are doing it for themselves, man. Hopefully more so on the big screen soon, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Look, and sadly, that's going to bring about the end of another episode of Comic Confidential for this week. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast, on Twitter and Instagram at ComicConPod, and don't forget, the website is now live at www.comicconpod.com.
Also, subscribe and download at iTunes and Stitcher. Make sure you leave us your thoughts via some feedback. You can be honest. We know the internet. We're completely desensitized to all your mum jokes.
I bet we haven't heard them all.
Send us your best mum joke.
Hashtag best mum joke. Now that you've said that, we're going to cop some crap. Look, Thanks to his brief appearance in the Civil War trailer, next week we are going to talk all things Spider-Man. Who nailed it? Who failed it? Either way, it's going to be awesomely epic. Make sure you're listening. Until then, as always, I'm Troy.
And I'm Kade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Catch ya.
Peace.